What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the A Show with the Kings of Pro Wrestling Podcasts. I am Justin, here with Meelz. Meelz the GOAT. What's going on?
I'm here to talk about the wonderful wide world of wrestling. I have no idea what else we're talking about this week. You know what I want to know? Actually, I want to know because I don't know if you saw the run sheet today. I put in a new segment today.
I'm excited for this, and I purposely didn't say anything because I wanted this is my real reaction to all of these things.
I'm super excited that you're excited. So you know what? I'm not even. I was originally gonna say something in the beginning, but I kind of want to leave it to, I guess, the segment part of the segment. Um, But I want to ask you. Well, how about this? What have you been enjoying lately? What's been something that's been making you happy, or things that you've seen or read, or all these other stuff? Like, what makes you happy lately?
I really enjoyed Across the Spider-Verse. I don't think I'm alone in saying that. I don't think it's really surprising that that's something that.
No, it's
Um,
legitimately everyone's opinion, and I have not seen it yet.
yeah, it's really good. But I mean, besides that, I'm finding things that and reconnecting with things that do make me happy and that I enjoy. I started making kits again. I took like a little break, which is kind of crazy because I was just, you know me, I was doing 3 a week.
Yeah, yeah, man. Why? Well, all right. Well, I'm glad you're making kits.
Yeah.
What kits have you?
Well,
What's the latest one that you bought?
I'm working on I'm working on a Metal Gear Solid Metal Gear Rex kit. I don't know if deep Metal Gear lore here, but I'm branching out from Gundam and doing something
Yeah,
else.
because I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is
Yeah,
not who I expected. All right, go ahead.
iconic mecha. Anyone who's listening that's a Metal Gear fan, they're probably gonna be like, hell yes.
Oh, I remember this.
Iconic, just silhouette, iconic final boss. Just love this so much. So I started building that. Little rusty, not gonna lie. That's what happens when you don't do it for a while. I broke 2 pieces off of it. That's cool. But I glued it back together so it doesn't look that bad.
Okay. I, all right. I just processed what happened. That reminds me of when I was a kid. I got these Power Ranger toys, and I used to get, you get the whole Megazord, so there's like 5 pieces. You gotta like attach them together. Um, I never knew that, and this is the original Mighty Morphin. This is original. All right, Mighty Morphin. Dragon Zord, Megazord, all this other shit. I never knew Mastodon's head was a shield at
Yes.
all. I've never, I don't think they ever did it in the actual show, or if they did it very, very rarely.
Well, they did. The only thing they didn't show in the show was the head popping off the mastodon, like the tip
Yeah,
popping off. Yeah, but the Megazord actually did. It was the sword, which in the toys I don't remember where the sword comes from. I think it
I
was
don't remember either. I think it's just its own separate shit.
right because the sword, remember, it came out the ground, so it actually didn't come out of the actual Zords. But
No, not at all.
when it was fully kitted out, which was like not often because remember they're using footage from like it could have been episode 22 in Power
Yeah.
Rangers. They're using old footage and splicing it together. Most of the time when it was kitted out, I would imagine that in the Japanese show, you probably didn't see that form of the Megazord very often. That's why you didn't see that very often.
No, but so I remember just breaking off the head entirely because I was like, what the fuck is going on? I remember breaking it before I was like, oh, this is supposed to be the shield. Oh, damn. And so the Black Rangers thing was broken since the beginning and stuff like that. And then I remember I took it to school, and then my teachers took it away and threw it in the garbage, and I never saw it again.
Threw it in the garbage? Are you
Threw it
serious?
in the garbage, threw it in the garbage.
How is that legal? Like, what did your parents say?
Why did you bring it to school?
That's crazy. Listen, we have to do no for real. We have to do better when we become parents to protect our kids, bro. That is crazy. Like I'm actually offended about that. That's not a lesson. You know what I'm saying? Like do something
We
wrong.
told you not to bring it to school, and now here it goes. And then I remember just dropped it in the trash. And I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Like that is not a lesson. The lesson of you disobeyed us, so something you love has to die is crazy. Like
This is the childhood that I knew. This is how I am the way I am now. This
Yeah,
is
I'm not cool with that. Like, at best, like, back in the day, they would take it away, and then your parents would have to come get it, and that would be, like, kinda your
I remember that more so in high school. Like if you got your phone taken away, your parents had to come and get it. So there was no way my parents were ever coming across the city to get my phone. So I just never brought my phone to school, which was whack, by the way.
that
Like
doesn't make sense either. What if something happens to your mom or your dad or your sister, brother, aunt, uncle, whatever, and they need to reach you?
you just had to wait till you get home. I still think we were very so when I was growing up in I guess middle school and high school, we were like I don't want to say the first generation with cell phones, but the first generations of mass produced cell phones. You know what I'm saying? Like it becoming a thing, multiple companies, Singular, AT&T, um, other shit, Sprint, other
Singular
stuff. So like,
it was probably singular back then.
yeah, yeah, Singular. I was definitely Singular. That's why AT&T, like, they can't tell me nothing. I've been with the company for like 20 years.
Yeah.
Um, so I remember, yeah, back in the day, like you couldn't bring it to school. This is New York City schools. You had the metal detector. Did you have metal detectors at your high school?
Absolutely not.
Wow. Okay. Well, we had to. Or I guess this is now I'm walking you through this process. You entered the building for school, but so make sure, and you could be late by having to go through the metal detectors. You're supposed to take in time. You're supposed to account the time that you have to go through the metal detectors to get into school. So you go, you put all your you put your bags on the conveyor belt. You have to take off your belt and any other metals that you have, and also put it in the thing. And that's how you entered school. And
So
then you get it all back.
you enter the school like you was getting into the 40/40 club.
Yeah, essentially. And like, because I guess there were people who would bring guns and knives and all this other shit to
Yeah, that's
school.
New York. Y'all niggas is the king of what 50s and all types of shit that y'all used to be doing back then. So yeah, I get it.
Gangs, all the other stuff. Yeah, it was a time. It was a time. Now they only really bring it out if they really have to.
I just
Um,
imagine when you went to school like a bunch of like taggers and like niggas who was in the Wu-Tang clan and shit.
I was in the honors class.
It's a difference, okay?
I was in honors. I was there was no yeah there was none of that. But I definitely went to school with those type of people for sure. Yeah, definitely. Oh, well, I'm trying to think of things that I've enjoyed lately. I've enjoyed the weather. I don't know about you. I don't know how your weather is going over where you're at, but our weather's is spectacular.
It's gloomy and it's gonna rain today, so there you go. In June.
Well, y'all need. Do y'all still need? Is the rain thing still like a thing? Like y'all
Oh,
still
we
need it?
had a month straight of rain. If you've ever, and I'm telling you right now, like drive around the valleys and stuff around here, it is the greenest it's ever looked. Like it is the green. It looks like the Sound of Music, like my nigga. It looks crazy out here, how green it is, and it's still raining. I'm glad, but I'm like, damn, California's weather. We actually got weather, but in the wrong time of the year. It's strange,
Yeah.
June, but honestly, it doesn't get hot out here for real until like August through October anyway. So I'm expecting the worst.
Okay. Well, listen. Good to know. Good to know. It is very nice, very crisp weather out here. I appreciate it. That's one thing I like. And yeah, I don't know. There's not a lot of things that I've enjoyed. I'm trying to. Oh, I want a shot for a new couch. By the way, where you bought your couch? By the way, how
Ashley
about that?
Furniture. Ashley Furniture. It's the
Damn.
married option. It's the married option. So
All right. I've been recommended that at least 3 times, so I'm gonna have to. Did you go in person?
yes, I went in person. That's the only way to
Okay.
you gotta sit on it. Like what?
Well, they give you an online option. You can't just buy this shit online.
Yeah, but what if you get the couch and you don't sit on it and it's trash? You have to go sit on the couch, Meals.
Oh god, I gotta travel all far out to this
That's what
damn
it's
couch.
for. That's what it's for. It's a night. Make a day out of it. Go get some coffee. Go, take a walk. Go to Ashley Furniture. Sit on some couches. Let some people try and sell you into shit. It's fun. You can go lay on the beds too. Take a nap. Honestly, furniture stores are the jug. Like you can go. There's so much shit to do in there. Like it's just fuck around in a furniture store. It's like an adult Toys R Us.
It really is. And I just remember as a kid going to Sears back in the day and used to like play with all the televisions and turn on all the water things and all my nieces up. And all this other shit like that. So definitely.
Absolutely. So, I mean, I'm glad that you're enjoying that. I hope you get your couch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really feel as though,
This is my gift for all the fan dueling, by the way.
oh my god, seriously?
Yeah, I've wanted. This is my only. That was my only goal for the entire NBA season, and I accomplished it and then some.
Oh wow, so you came up off the Nuggets, I guess.
No. Um, I would say my most, ironically enough, sadly enough, my most lucrative team was the Celtics, like easily.
There you go. Like, listen, the ones you hate turn out to be the ones that try and help you the most.
Hey man, we here.
Let's get into no holds barred really quick. We got a lot of stuff, including our new segment. I would say a pretty positive week for one company, and then kind of like a for another company.
Yeah, I mean there aren't that much news out. I mean, what's the news that came out today? Like, I think there was the only bit of news. I mean, there's a lot of, but there isn't that much news out, which I feel like we need every now and then in wrestling. Like, you need a slow week because when something ridiculous, if we get a slow week, I know something ridiculous is about to happen next week for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
CM
yeah,
Punk could
yeah.
show up to a show. Somebody Miro punches somebody.
We got some news on CM Punk. Actually, some news that I gotta add to our docket here because it wasn't in the run sheet and it just came out. So we're gonna talk about
Oh,
that.
okay.
But before we do that, big news for Forbidden Door 2. Really big news. Two big matches announced. Kazuchika Okada versus Bryan Danielson and Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega. The rematch from Wrestle Kingdom has actually been announced for the New Japan Pro Wrestling US title. Those are two big matches. I think those will sell. I mean, the show's pretty much already sold out, I think, but that's gonna just sell everyone on the show. I'll be watching. You know what I mean? I'll for
Yeah.
sure be for that.
No, I mean, this is when you think of this kind of like field between AEW and I forgot why couldn't, oh, Brian got hurt last year.
Yeah, he
Sick.
was gone
Um
for a really yeah.
and he got replaced by Zack Sabre Jr., who was facing the debut in Cesaro. Oh god. Well, luckily we aren't on the side of that, and that's probably why they've been keeping him on ice for the last number of weeks. And he probably will not wrestle until Forbidden Door, to be honest with you.
Should.
But listen,
But my concern with this match though, Meelz, is that like you're right, they have been keeping him on ice, but they also let Brian do whatever the fuck he wants to do. And he's already been hurt this year. He got hurt at Anarchy in the Arena last year, I believe, right? Or some match that he was
yeah,
in. Wasn't he that one last year too? He was in last year, right?
no, it was in the Anarchy in the Arena. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and he probably low key got hurt on this one, or he did very little in this one from what I heard. He actually wasn't around that much, for this year's. But I'm worried about Brian because I think that he's going to go really hard, and I think that people should expect him to not be around wrestling in a wrestling capacity after this match because that's how hard he's going to go. But that's how hard the match is going to go. So
Hey man, to be honest with you, he could go out on this match. I'm gonna keep
he
it above
really
with you.
if this is the only reason why he left WWE and this is what he does, fine, he did it. He did it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, yo, he could realistically, like, he could go out on this match. Like, if this was like not even his retirement match, but like, okay, I'm starting the end of my career after this, I'm all for it because this match is more than a dream match. And I don't think we get the opportunity to have the dream matches when U.S. wrestling intersects with Japanese wrestling with these two major stars in this kind of way, especially if you spend most of your career in WWE. Now, do I think sometime in the future they could be some New Japan WWE thing in the future? I think it's possible. I think if their agreement with AEW goes somewhere else, it's definitely possible. But Okada versus Bryan Danielson is like, you don't even need to. I don't need anything else. They dropped a little video of Brian, in
In the
his
wood.
location, yeah, in the woods, in the desert, or wherever the hell he's at, doing neck bridges and all types of other shit. Um, and that's kind of all you needed to sell me on the match. It kind of reminds me of Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura,
Mhm.
and that kind of feel of like,
You don't need a
wow,
story. You don't need a story.
yeah,
You don't need a story. You don't need any type of thing. Like the story is, that we've waited so long for this match. It's finally happening. It's gonna be fucking cool. I can't wait. And I think again, like that's not even to say that like one of my like matches of the year is getting a rematch here. And that's Osprey versus Omega. And I think that I got a conspiracy. I think they're slowly winding him down. I think Kenny's slowly winding down in this company.
Mm,
I really I
okay.
think
I mean,
I think he'll drop this title that he never defends in the first place
right.
to Osprey, who's probably going to be around New Japan for quite some time. And I mean, just look at it though, Meelz. Like they've been giving him all the big matches. He's been getting all the big matches. I think the next one is probably Ibushi coming back, and then it's probably going against Take a Shit to Takeshita. And I mean, what else is there left? Another Adam Page match, I guess. Punk? That's not happening.
Um, that is a good question. What's all right beyond these two matches? What's another? What's I guess another? If they're loading up this card, what do you hope to see? You got New Japan Pro Wrestling, AEW. What would you hope to see?
I would imagine uh who in the hell is on the New Japan roster? That's exciting. Is Naito gonna show up again? Is Naito gonna
You
show up?
know he is.
I
No,
guess
I'm kidding. I have no idea.
Naito and his knees would be cool. Sonata will probably have to pull up. He's the champion over there. Sonata
Mm-hmm.
versus MJF is just not something that seems right for me to even wish for. I would imagine Sonata Mox or um Sonata Mox. It's nasty.
I'm asking you this also because they also announced the G133.
Yeah, they did the trade off. Yeah,
Do you have any predictions for that? Do you see anything for that? Are you even for the are you do you even care?
Okada's gonna win again. Um, I mean, Okada and Sonata seems to be the direction for Wrestle Kingdom, and I would imagine you would have Sonata win there. Um, but I mean, it's just I look at the field and I'm like, it can't be anyone else but Okada. To be honest with you, I
Mm.
don't see anyone else. I mean, I guess since Lij are heels again, I guess you could do something with the Elite with them, like maybe the Bucks, and Page versus Lij with Naito. Well, no, is Naito still in it? I don't know.
Yes,
Uh,
Naito's still in it. Yeah.
he's still in it. Okay, so I guess they're like bad guys again. So like you could do something with them. I don't MJF and Sonata just don't seem fire to me. Yeah, but I mean, I guess someone could prove me wrong. Maybe Darby Allin and Sonata would be pretty fun. I think that would be a
I
fun.
don't know what you do at MJF on this show.
You would not
If I,
have him there. He'd
yeah,
already.
I would. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I probably wouldn't. To be honest with you, um,
What would you expect to see?
is it too brazen to call Kenta versus CM Punk?
No, I think that'd be cool. I don't think these are two broken down old men though. Like I don't know if that's like at their peak, like yes, but like now, no.
They have a resourceful ass match. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of
Like,
bells and whistles.
yeah, a lot of bells and whistles, a lot of things, a lot of callbacks and stuff like that. I could see one of those. What else could I see? I don't know, not much. To be honest with you, we'll see what they put in front of us. Again, I thought the build last year was lackluster, but with these two big matches announced, I think you definitely got a lot of anticipation coming for it. Um, I would have. It'll be interesting to see like how much again like last year. I think last year mainly the New Japan people just if you could show up weeks before you did, but if you were a big deal, you showed up like 3 days before.
Mhm.
So I'm interested to see what they do. I'm interested to see how this kind of also figures in, considering the fact that they also have a Saturday show now that they
Yeah,
have that they have to do along with Forbidden Door on Sunday.
pretty much. Well,
So
I think that'll be taped. I don't know. Is that? I don't know if that's live every week. 'Cause I think that'll be taped. I want. I don't know. Is that? I don't know if that's live every week. I think that'll be taped. I want. I don't know. Is that? I don't know if that's live every week. I think that'll be taped. I want. I don't know. Is that? I don't know if that's live every week. Oh no, it is
I
live every week. It is. You're right. Yeah, they're
it's
calling.
definitely going to be, yeah.
Yeah, they're just calling it tapings. Okay.
Yeah, they got that. They're taping, I think they tape Rampage with Dynamite. No, they tape ROH with I don't remember anymore. They're taping, no, I think they tape ROH now with Forbidden Door. Not Forbidden Door, fucking Collision. Oh my
Yeah.
god. All right. All these fucking shows. Either way, AEW has quite a bit to look forward to with the next number of weeks. They got a lot of television to fill. I'm interested to see how they actually do this, um, which might bring us into our next topic that we're talking about here.
CM Punk officially announced for the debut of AEW Collision. However, this week you also have the announcement of the main event for that first show next week. Yeah, next week. Um, what was your take of the reaction that CM Punk got? I mean, I heard many people say, "Well, I was there and we were cheering." I know what people heard on TV, and that was louder than whatever the hell people was hearing.
I thought it was the appropriate reaction, to be honest with you. I
Yeah.
thought it was, I thought, um, and not from a standpoint of like he does, well, I don't know, maybe he does a little bit
Well,
deserve this.
not even for the he deserves it. It's AEW reaping what they sown. Like again, you had the guy disappear from TV with no. And then this is why it's driving me crazy. Like I was literally last week, Meelz. Like I was like, am I going crazy here? Like, or is this like the dumbest thing I've ever seen? You had him disappear from TV for no reason, not even an injury angle or anything took him out. He just wasn't there. You had the elite go on there and make fun of him essentially and make fun of the incident in his hometown. You had them come back first for one. There's been so
Yeah.
many there's been so many stories about him being a hard ass and stuff like that that's just been fed to all of the biggest newsletters out there. It's very easy to this is like a smear campaign. It really was like a smear campaign, and then they're seeing the fruits of that labor.
And it's interesting now because we hear all the Fightful reports about they having a backstage meeting with their new head of communications, Adam, what's his face, and he's
Don't fuck
talking
with
about, listen, guys,
don't fuck with Adam. We don't fuck with
off
Adam.
the record. If you're gonna have these off the record discussions, make sure that they're off the record and stuff like that. I'm like, everyone in this company talks to the people. Um, the reaction is definitely, you know, again, like you said, it kind of like shows how AEW has kind of like handled this situation. Whether it's being on screen or off screen, you've set a line in the dirt, not only backstage, but between your audience, between people who like Punk and people who are against Punk. The numbers have not, shot up dramatically for Collision, even though it's been billed as like the CM Punk show.
Yeah,
So
and hey, that's the news. I mean, ticket sales are being are just awful, to be honest. They've only sold 700 tickets for that next week's taping in Hamilton, Ontario, and that's right before Forbidden Door.
I feel like I don't know, they have an issue with just really branding themselves as a company. Like the just overall, they have an issue in kind of like separating themselves, marketing themselves. How do they get within the market and stuff like that? They have like a real issue with that. Um, I think the stuff in the ring is passable, and then I also have an issue with the lack of stars in the show because realistically, like,
They've made
there's no reason. Yeah, there's made none, and WWE shows are doing gangbusters every week, and we'll get into that a little bit as well later. But they're doing gangbusters every week, and there's a reason why all their house rule shows that people have requested, and these are things that people have come up with. Like, you need house shows so people get better, so they can be on television, and then no one goes to the house shows. So, so you need we need to feature more of these people on television. Then they feature people on television. It's not even sold out or something along those lines. They got to do a better job with, I guess, invigorating their audience. And I think, I think Forbidden Door is a great way to do it. But then they're also doing it they're doing it with New Japan stars. It's not really like
yeah,
the power of
that,
Forbidden Door is New Japan talent.
yeah.
They're the draw, whether you like it or not. They're the ones who are the draw. You put a Bryan Danielson on a pay per view against anybody else, and it's not going to sell. Y'all just had Adam Cole versus Chris Jericho, and it wasn't giving what it was supposed to give. So
it
they've got
got
to do a better.
it got 3.5 stars though.
Listen, hey man, I feel like they need a more. I don't know if this. I guess this taints what Forbidden Door is, but I think they need a better relationship with New Japan as well.
Yeah, they do. Does this bear any like any fruit for that market for their market that they have in New Japan? I don't feel like it does.
Not really, but also I feel like there can definitely be some sort of talent exchange where it empowers both. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there should be AEW stars featured in a major way on Wrestle Kingdom. And then they should also be featured on a way, like, for instance, there's All In Wembley Stadium. It would be great to have a couple New Japan stars there as well. I
Mhm.
think if this was a relationship between, I think if this was WWE and you're heading towards a major show, it's all hands on deck. Whatever
Right.
makes this the biggest show that you can. That's why they bring in a Rock. That's why they bring in a Batista. That's why they bring in Stone Cold Steve Austin. Anything that kind of like makes the shows. And while they necessarily aren't Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, or Batista, they are. I guess they are pillars. I guess they are icons to those kind of people.
Mhm.
And I think they need to really, if they don't have their own great amount of homegrown stars, they need to start incorporating a lot more stars from outside. And I know she's injured right now, but they would have made a killing off of Mercedes Monet, not featured on Forbidden Door, but another pay-per-view just in general.
But here's my thing with that even is that like she's a draw to New Japan audiences. Is she a draw to a company that doesn't really um benefit or not benefit but really push women's wrestling either?
I say she though, so I agree with you there, but I do think, I don't know if she's a complete draw, but I do feel like in terms of um, the spectacle of it, I think if you want to take it to the next level where you're like, okay, we're investing within the women, and you potentially push towards a women's main event on a pay per view, like this is kind of like how you nudge towards that by saying, okay, we're going to include a Mercedes Monet, we're going to include a lot of these things, we're going to incorporate that into the actual show itself. And I don't think you do it on a Forbidden Door, because Forbidden Door is just going to be, Forbidden Door is enough of a spectacle that it's going to become like a novelty in itself. Like it's just going to be the Forbidden Door thing. But if you kind of make it a more of a regular kind of fixture of like, okay, incorporating a couple of these stars into other shows, then it becomes a lot more like, oh, okay, you don't want to miss any of these other things. I feel like I
I,
think
I
Mercedes Monet can add to AEW
think you're a
with
fan.
a match. With a match, I think no. I think she can add with a match for
I think
sure.
I think you're a fan.
Okay,
I think you like Mercedes a lot.
I do like Mercedes. Yes,
I have not seen that bear fruit in her post WWE career yet.
but
And looking at the
but
trends in AEW, they can't even sell out her hometown right now.
but that's true. But here's the thing: like they're doing it in a market. Mercedes Monet was doing it in a market necessarily that's powered by like New Japan Pro Wrestling, right? So like what happens if it's like an American, like similar to WWE, AEW is a North American base. Like a North American based promotion promoting Mercedes Monet. You know her as Sasha Banks. They're not going to say Sasha Banks, but you know who the hell she is. Does that have any kind of differences from, because Mercedes Monet going over to Japan, I don't think has the same effect as Mercedes Monet going over to AEW.
Sure,
I
for a
think it has
week.
a, but yeah, for a week, yeah, for a week or so. But you promote it on that card, like you saying, if they announce Mercedes Monet is going to be at Wembley, I think it's going to garner a lot of great attention and a lot of great things towards that. I don't know if it's going to bring more women to the show, to be honest with you.
I don't know if it's gonna. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if it's gonna last, but yeah. This
But
company is. I mean, we'll talk about it, but like it's sliding at a rate where I said this 3 weeks ago. I've never seen anyone come back from this. I've never seen a company come back from this without like a complete overhaul of how they do things, and that's not going to happen. You know
I
why?
think it will.
You know
Why?
why? It's not gonna
Go
happen
ahead.
soon. It's not gonna happen soon
No, it's not gonna happen soon.
because the person that writes the checks is also the person that writes the show,
I agree.
and he doesn't have a team. So
I agree. I
there you go.
agree. You look at Elon Musk and Twitter, and he's like, "Listen, I'm taking my hands off this shit
Yeah, after
because
he ruined it.
yeah,
Yeah, like, exactly. After he fucking ruined it. Yes, absolutely. That's what they do. AEW Fight Forever got the release date coming out the I think Forbidden Door weekend or the weekend or the week before or whatever.
yeah. Somewhat. It's in June.
There's a bunch of videos and content and stuff that's been coming out. There was a creator event similar to what WWE 2K does and a lot of different other companies and game studios do when a game's about to come out, just to garner some support from influencers. So we've been seeing a lot of content come out. I am not at the liberty.
That's what I'm saying. I was gonna say I know you aren't able to talk about it, so let me see what I can do.
I am not at the liberty to say my thoughts in general, other than I hope that the developers, I hope that it reviews well and they get paid, and whatever deals they have on the back end ends up happening, bonuses and whatnot. But I will say that I am concerned about where this is falling in terms of this month. Okay, this month, I don't know if you know, Meelz, is a mammoth month for the year for video games. You just had Street Fighter 6 come out. You just had Diablo 4 come out this week, but people have been playing it since last week. You had
Mm-hmm.
Zelda come out maybe 20 days ago. And then you're falling into coming out maybe 5 or 6 days after Final Fantasy 16, which is the first Final Fantasy in, I want to say, 4 years.
Yeah,
So I don't know how, and I know, and here's the thing: I know that those audiences don't overlap, but I'm talking about in terms of conversation. That is absolutely going to be a problem for that game, and I'm wondering how they're going to, other than what they've done now, kind of break apart from the pack, because 2K already had the conversation. They're doing their thing. But then you have, again, Street Fighter 6 is taking up conversation. Diablo 4, they just announced today the fastest selling game of that series. Street Fighter 6 sold 1 million copies in 3 days. It'll probably be at 2 million by Friday. You're looking at mammoth numbers, and Final Fantasy 16 is going to take over all the market share at the end of the month. And that's the only thing that I'm kind of concerned about with them just dropping it out the sky. I feel like July would have been a better option for them. Just odd timing all around for that game to come out now. I don't know. Like
I was on mute. No, I was gonna say it's got blood and it's got skateboarding. That's all I got. That's all I got. But AEW Fight Forever is definitely coming out towards the end of this month. I've already hit up Quan and Cyrus and see if they would play the game, even though I think we put them through enough. But they have also offered that, yeah, they'll. I mean, if it's there,
they'll review
we'll
it.
play it and review it and let us know how it goes. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that.
I'm
What else
interested
do we have next?
in Quan's video game reviewing acumen, because I
Mm,
don't know if he plays cities all day.
hey man, don't underestimate Quan.
Okay, all right,
Don't underestimate Quan. Quan come through.
just saying.
I play Pokemon. I review another game too.
Exactly, you're reviewing the game.
I'll review this game too. Shit. Um, I'm not reviewing it on the Switch. Um, but we got one more thing. No holds barred. NXT. I know you how much you love NXT.
Love it. Fantastic episode
Um,
last week.
yeah, we got
Perform.
post their pay per view. Apparently, they shook things up a little bit, and we got an appearance from Mustafa Ali, who's now incorporating himself in the North American title picture, which is good. How do we feel about that? Good, great, amazing.
Ask me after this next one.
Okay. And then at the end of the show, when I thought it was going to be Joe Coffey ruining our lives, it is none other than the ruiner of. He has got the patent on ruining lives. He got the patent on tanking main events. He's got the patent on it all. The man showed up looking like he's like, I guess I'm coming to work. Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
lays out Carmelo Hayes in the main event of NXT. Looks like he is going for the NXT Championship. Um, the Great American Bash, I think it's at the end of next month, which is the next major show. Um, how do you feel about Baron Corbin infiltrating NXT again?
And Ali, I'll say this. I don't know
Well,
if you'll.
Ali for the first time.
I don't know if you'll agree. I don't know if anyone will agree. I feel as though a lot of people were very like kind of scratching their head at the free agent thing, and admittedly, I was too with people that could jump from show to show. I think you give if WWE is going to be really tight on continuity as they've been in the past couple of months, I think that there was no better choice than to do this and to give people and put people on that show that they've gone to the towns, they've gone to the international live events, they've worked the house shows, they've worked the biggest Raws and the lowest Raws. You know what I'm saying? To give those people and those up and coming stars on NXT that you know what I'm saying, that extra learning. You know what I mean? I think with Ali, he's someone that is kind of lost and has been kind of lost, but they've like strangely pushed him still. He's been kept relatively kind of like away from a lot of BS. I mean, he had a really great match with Gunther 2 weeks ago. So I think that Wesley and Ali is something that you want to see, regardless of how you feel about his character. I think that he showed up, and I'm telling you right now, it was cool because you don't see that very often on this show. And I think that with Triple H and his team being so familiar with not only Ali because he came from his era, but also the guys down there that he hired before he left, that makes sense. He understands these people and he understands how to write them and how to put them in storylines. Baron Corbin, to me, is the biggest heel you could go to that people would hate after Braun to face Carmelo Hayes, who has someone who is a bigger opponent and that's more imposing to him, and he can get actual babyface cheers against and babyface heat against.
Do you think this is? Have we truly kind of like reached? I don't want to say bankruptcy on Baron Corbin, but it kind of like feels so like creatively. I think everything that they've tried. I mean, the last thing they actually tried was the pairing with JBL, and I think they messed that up more than he did.
Oh,
By
he's absolutely not over. Okay, let me tell you that he's absolutely not over. But in a small room, I think he works better because
right.
it's a small room. He don't got to try and work to that crowd. You put him in a big room on Raw with all those heavy hitters. Him on Raw against a Gunther or anyone else, he just looks small. You know what I'm saying? But I think what I appreciate is that Baron Corbin's willing to play the role without complaining. You know what I mean? And Ali the same. You know what I mean? They're willing to play that role without complaining. And it looks like they want to help people down there. And Baron Corbin hasn't been back there in years. So it's actually kind of interesting to see him down there.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, because like he has not been there since has to be about 2015, 16.
16. Mm-hmm.
So, and
He still
last
had
time
long
he was
hair.
there, he was a motorcycle.
Yeah, he still had long hair when he was down there. And I think, again,
Barely.
NXT should be about giving back. What happened with the draft is that they took away a lot of their heavy hitters, and there's very few that are down there right now. So if there's people on the free agent thing that can go down there, get some reps, I honestly feel like a lot more people should be on the free agent shit. I feel like if they don't know what the fuck to do with Tegan Knox, why don't you just put her back down there for a couple weeks and then bring her back up?
Mm,
You know what I'm
that
saying?
would
Like,
be lit. Yeah,
I,
no, that would be great.
there's barely any women on that free agent roster, right? I think there's none.
Who do I want to say is on free agent?
Hold on,
No, I don't think Dana Brooke is a free agent.
she's
Is
not.
she?
No.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, Zion Quinn, Elias, Ali, Shelton Benjamin, and Cedric Alexander, Baron Corbin, Von Wagner, Dolph Ziggler, Omos, and I mean Brock Lesnar, but you know he's not going to NXT. There's no women on that list. You know what I'm
That's
saying? Like,
nuts.
put some women on that. Honestly, take Shelton and Cedric, take them back down there too. I think
Hey man.
there's a lot of things you can do with them.
Hey man, ain't nobody meaner than Tamina. You know what I'm saying?
Why the
Tamina on NXT.
why the fuck is Ezekiel or Elias not the GM for NXT? Right?
That'd be nuts. That'd be nuts.
That would be
But fair.
crazy.
That would be cool because
Add so many elements to this whole thing when you have them
right.
able to bounce from show to show, and that's why I fuck with the free agent thing.
You know what? I'm here for it. I'm interested to see what they do. I think this is definitely going to be a task for Mello. I think it's a gimme for Mello. But here's the thing: this is an opportunity to either be great or be terrible on all fronts. You know what I'm saying? Like bad on both sides. I mean, Baron Corbin is a heel, but he's not exactly like. I mean, I think in NXT he'll be over like Rover for sure. Um, NXT crowd is Full Sail is very is that Full Sail?
No, it's PC.
PC crowd is fickle.
The full
They'll
sale
cheer.
deal, the full sale deal ended like a year ago, 2 years ago. So.
Yeah, so they're fickle. So you know what? We'll see what we see. But in case you don't see, I mean, Baron Corbin, Mustafa Ali are still on the shows, or still mentioned on the shows. We saw Cameron Grimes appear last week and said, "Next time Baron Corbin shows up here, I'm whooping his ass."
It makes sense. I mean, he put Grimes over, and I got to talk about Grimes. We get a SmackDown too, because it seems like they got something like kind of big plan for him. But it makes sense. It looks good. I'm telling you right now, Meelz, and I feel this in my heart of hearts. This has been the best draft they've done in a really long time.
Okay,
It's been the best draft they've done in a really long time.
I could see it.
I won't say ever, because you still got that SmackDown roster.
Yeah, but you know what? It's fair. You know what? I looked at on an episode of SmackDown, they had all the women come out for the Money in the Bank thing, and I was like, this is a roster right here. You got some hitters.
You feel me? Niggas was saying that they was, I don't know about it. I was like, hey, it's looking good, and they're building up two women that we haven't even seen really yet into being like something really a big deal too. So I fuck with it.
Let's get to our new segment.
Yeah.
So this is very powerful. I want you to introduce the segment, but I want to know how you're going to say the title of the segment. It's very, it can be interpreted in different ways. An inflection of your voice can change the meaning of this. So I want to know how you interpret the title of this segment.
So in the world of the internet wrestling community and outside of it, there are many things that get people a little bit tilted, a little bit off of their character, out of their character, if you will. And under the tutelage and the expert design of my co-host Meelz, he's created a whole new segment so we could talk about the grievances or perceived grievances that are done by these companies every single week, and we're gonna react to them and really figure out why y'all mad.
There you go. It could be why y'all mad, or why y'all mad for real. Oh, why y'all mad? You know what I'm saying? Why y'all mad? Why y'all mad? We got a new segment.
Let's talk about the first thing they're mad about. People are very mad at Andrade El Idolo for refusing to appear on AEW a couple of weeks ago outside of Tony Khan's office asking for a segment. This came out a couple of days ago in the news. People were up in arms about it. This cocky motherfucker, this ego fucking testicle motherfucker.
He need to go back where he came from.
He need to go back to Star Trek.
He won't be with his wife. He need to go be with his wife.
He's taking Kip Sabian's job. He's taking Alex Marvez's job. Whatever the fuck is on that show. Why are they mad? This is why they're mad. Our reactions to it. Listen, man, if I'm Andrade, I'm telling Tony Khan to eat a fucking Frank every time he calls me.
All right. I'm not telling him that. Go ahead. No, continue.
I have punched someone in the face after he told me not to. What makes you think I'm going to do anything you ask me to do outside of winning the AEW title as soon as I come back? I'm cool with it.
Here's my thing with this segment. Here's why I'm cool with it. I feel like as a wrestler, especially one in AEW, especially one as Andrade, who I guess has creative control. That was always a rumor when he signed up. Did he confirm it on that like Mexican podcast? I forget.
He did.
But he has a level of creative control.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't want my first appearance to be backstage
on the door,
knocking on the door, I don't want that to be my first appearance back. I've been gone for a while. And I think the last time we saw him, I don't know if he was stuffed in a damn casket or whatever the fuck he was doing. But if I don't want to look like Miro and Thunder Rosa knocking on a door begging for a match, I don't want to do it.
Yeah,
Like, why do we? And then they haven't. I haven't seen Mira or Thunder Rosa since. That happened like a month ago.
because they got to get
Like,
ready for a collision, bro.
hey man, it's a creative control. That's what I'm typing this on their ass. I don't know why y'all mad,
They
but
mad,
the man got creative control.
they mad, and they coming for you.
Hey,
They're mad, and they are coming for you. Um, the next thing that they're mad about, people are mad that Ronda Rousey went on Cheap Heat and talked about how she fought to be in the tag team with Shayna, and people are mad because Mercedes and Naomi also fought for the tag division. Ronda said a lot of other things on that I feel as though people should be way more mad about.
mm. But first of all, shout out to Cheapy, shout out to Greg. But this isn't a 1-to-1 situation. And you know what? I was gonna tweet it, but then I was like, you know what? I'm trying to watch my tweets lately. Trying to watch what I put on wax on the typing internet type of thing because I don't know how people are gonna respond. But Ronda Rousey wanting to team with Shayna Baszler is not a one-to-one with whatever happened with Mercedes and Trinity. It's just not. Ronda Rousey, and you could have seen this since last year. If you saw the segments that she had with Shayna that weren't even official WWE segments, she would film shit on her own social media. I think it was the feud with Natalia, or the feud with Liv, or something along those lines, and she would just film stuff with Shayna, them going over stuff, them training, them doing things. She's been trying to angle for this for a long time. At no point did she ever want to come back to save the company and be in this long, aggressive ass feud with Charlotte.
Right.
She wanted, she wanted to
Be in a tag team.
be in a tag team, help build up her friend, get Shayna to a place where even if Ronda Rousey said, "I don't want to wrestle no more," Shayna's good.
Right.
Shayna's rehabilitated back in the eyes. And you see that a little bit on Raw, that we're going to talk about in a little bit. Naomi and Trinity, no, sorry, Trinity and Mercedes wanting to, like, okay, we want to make sure that we're like these tag team champions who don't necessarily lose in singles matches is not the same thing as what she had going on. It wasn't a fight, and I think this has a lot to do with the aggregating culture, more so, of how Twitter accounts will literally just aggregate news and do their best to sum it up in 280 characters or 240 characters to make it more salacious. But it's not the same thing. And I truly feel like if Ronda was in a situation, first of all, Ronda has pull. Let's just clear.
Right, let's be clear. Yeah. I was wondering when you were going to get that. I was like, she got the juice. She got the juice, and them two didn't.
She's main event of WrestleMania, help bring a lot of eyes to the company. I looked at Raw last night, and I'm in my brain, I'm like, yo, Ronda Rousey is really here week to week wrestling mid-carders on this show. Like, you know how insane that is looking back from 2016?
They're giving them like 7 to 10 minute matches too, which is great. And they getting that shit off.
And she's like I'm like, yo, she's like a real fucking wrestler. Like, and the general public does not talk about Ronda Rousey anymore. Ronda Rousey was a fucking megastar. And now she's wrestling at 10:30 on Monday Night Raw for the love.
Yeah, just for the love.
That's nuts.
I think
so. Yeah,
I understand that the anger is in a vacuum because of women's wrestling. That's the vacuum that it's under. But I get that. But I think, as you said, the situations are not similar. But there's way more stuff to be mad at her about, like her saying that like it was mediocre and that the tag team championships have been mediocre for the past. They have spent the better part of a year trying to get these titles back to prominence, and they were there, and then Liv got hurt, so they had to redo stuff all over again. So I think to say that, especially in a locker room full of women that like probably look up to her or respect her or whatever, I don't like. That's the type of work shoot that's just kind of crazy to say. It's the same thing as like who said it. Somebody said in AEW, I can forget what woman said it. She was like, women don't get the same opportunities, or women don't get enough opportunities in AEW. I forgot who said it. I saw it as like a blind item, but I was like, yeah, but like you got to look at it in the vacuum why that's happening. You know what I'm saying? It's like why was it looked at as an afterthought to Ronda, right? You were too
Right.
busy winning the women's championships to even care back then.
Hey.
And to be fair, Sasha and Bailey wanted those titles and they worked hard for those. So for you to be like, I can't, I'm Christopher Columbus is crazy. That's the only thing I'll say people are mad about or should be mad about. People are mad at Lacey Evans' new attire.
People are mad.
About what?
More specifically, Sergeant Slaughter's daughter is mad that she took the entire juice of Sergeant Slaughter.
With the cobra on the hat?
Yeah. With the hat. I think it's just a hat.
Over the hat.
I think it's the hat. I think it's I guess she's now like a drill sergeant kind of vibe going. Listen, as much as I don't care for Lacey Evans, she's just trying to survive. At any point, she is. You ever seen that thing of Martin where it's like you're like eye over water, like the water like right here, like right next to the eyelid type of thing? She is drowning.
She needs something. Nigga.
She needs anything. She grabbing on that hat like her life depends on it. Cause she ain't got shit. It ain't hitting. None of it. At all. Face, heel, hat, no hat, bra, pants, don't matter. Nothing is hitting at all. There's worse things to be mad at Lacey Evans over than her damn hat. Leave the hat alone.
Like why she isn't a fucking free agent right now.
Right? Why she isn't punching Lyra Valkyria in the face next Tuesday.
She needs it.
Oh my God.
Next on the list. People are mad that WWE has a clause with arenas to prevent AEW from running at the same arena within weeks of their show. This was a news item that was introduced and left there. And that's what I hate about like tweets like this. And again, it's like it's engagement culture. They tweet it out and they leave it there for y'all to just discuss with no context.
Hey, that's you. They ain't say, they're gonna say we didn't say anything about them trying to make AEW bankrupt. We didn't do anything, but we're just gonna leave this tweet here and go,
and then be like 1,000 views or 1,000 retweets. We won, kind of bigging up the tribalism while people are in the replies, literally replies Meelz saying, "What's wrong with going head to head with AEW at the TD Garden or Barclays?" That will never happen. Because
hey, man, this might be for AEW's own protection more than anything.
And here's the thing. When is the last time you saw Rolling Loud and then the next week you saw, I don't know, fucking Roots Picnic in the same place?
Right.
You know, the only time you'll see that type of thing happen is when the company owns both the fucking events, just like Stagecoach and Coachella happening a week after each other or 2 weeks after each other in the same place. That's the only time you'll see that happen because Golden Voice owns both. You've never seen you've never seen it's literally the same reason why, again, these like I brought up earlier, these festivals take place in wildly different areas, but they still converge in the same places at different times during the year. It's all about routing, but it's also about connections and relationships. If you got a relationship with that arena, yes, they're gonna do you a solid because you're putting money in their people's pockets. You're paying for their concessions. You're paying for the lights to stay on. You're paying for the big events to happen there. That's literally show business. It happens everywhere. But again, people act like and they get mad and fucking outraged because this happens. This is just normal business practice.
This is literally normal. This is incredibly normal.
Not
and I
only-
guarantee it's not even normal just in like this happened in wrestling years ago. Like all the time.
Not only is it not cutthroat, it's to like you said, it's to their benefit. You're gonna burn. Like here's the thing with AEW, they're burning out the same 4 cities, and now they're about to burn out San Diego and the Bay because they're going back there all the time. So they're burning out Chicago and Pittsburgh and Jacksonville all the time. So now you're seeing the sales lag. They're burning out the South. Now they're gonna burn out Toronto because they're going there too many times during the year. It's the reason why WWE goes away for a week. You don't see no house shows, or you see split house shows where you won't see Roman that much, or you won't see Seth or Cody that much. And then they'll come back to the same places in a couple months. Why don't y'all get this? How old are y'all?
too damn old.
It's
Too
great.
damn old. That's why y'all mad. That's why y'all mad. If you love this segment, let us know. We'll bring it back.
That is indeed why they're mad, and I would love to bring this back, regardless of what people say. This is great.
This is great. This is great. I feel very good about this segment. Um, we should probably get into the weekly shows.
Yes, let's go to SmackDown. The big thing about SmackDown, this was literally a show predicated on this long 30-minute segment at the end of the show. This was the
Amen.
longest fucking segment I've seen on SmackDown since what? Honorary Oos? That was like 20 some minutes.
Probably since, yeah, I would say so. Like, it's been a while since we had a really long segment on the show. But if chances are it's a bloodline segment, so it's not like you got anything else to worry about.
If it was any segment, it should have been this one, right? And
Absolutely.
his 1,000 day celebration. Let's just get to the numbers really quick. It was one of the highest rated segments of the year, and in all of wrestling. Let's just be clear: at 2.9 million viewers, SmackDown ends up landing at like a 2.5, 2.6 on the night, which is higher than the 2.1s they've been getting without Roman for the last couple of weeks. It comes out, we get a new belt. I mean, here's the thing: that segment was so big, no one was even mad about the belt. No one's even talking about the fucking new title that he gets right before it. What did you feel about the title?
You do not want to know what I feel about this damn title.
I don't. I
I
didn't.
feel,
I wasn't in. I wasn't in the chat.
I I don't. I get it, but I don't like it. I don't like how it looks. I don't like the fact that this is like the representation of both titles together now. I don't know what I expected, to be honest with you. It's not like I expected two W's fighting each other on a fucking championship belt or something along those lines. But it just looked like another. This literally, I think it's also the fact that they've made custom belts so much now that this just feels like a custom belt. Like, this is a yellow strap away and maybe a couple weed signs away from being Snoop Dogg's belt.
There was no weed signs on that, was there?
On Snoop Dogg's belt?
Yeah, there was.
I think so.
Wilding if so.
But I would imagine there would have to be. But I don't know. I wasn't really feeling it, to be honest with you. I don't like the black diamonds. I get that they're a little bit different, but I don't know.
The black diamonds hit different. I just gotta never mind. Never mind. Nah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say what I got.
There is weed on there. Yeah, well, all right. Where's the cha-ching?
Anyway,
There's weed on. There is little weed things on this belt.
okay. Well, that's nice for WWE to do for him. Um, I like the belt. I think the black straps. I like the black straps the way they set the color of the black W. You just don't see the black W very often. I think it's really cool. It works for Roman. I'm pretty sure they might tweak it a little bit more. Who knows? I just think that double belt era, we got to get to the consolidated. But I just think that this is again more clues as to like where really they're going in the future with the title, and you just can't have the double belt very long. So I didn't get.
They're gonna unify the belt again in like 5 fucking years. So it doesn't even matter.
I'm not getting up because the thing is, we hated the fucking spinner shit until it just was what it was, and then
Until they put a screw in that bitch and it stopped spinning. That's exactly.
Exactly. But the segment itself, Roman Reigns accepts the belt as soon as the Usos music hit, and my great pop, by the way, by the fans in attendance there. That pop was insane for the Usos. Again, they keep doing for the past 2.5, 3 years. They keep doing these world class pops, and they're up there. I don't know if people want to admit it, but they're up there with some of the greatest ones. This Uso one was something I wasn't expecting. Were you expecting that?
Yes and no, because I know that people wanted to fall out of this. I know that people look forward to where this was all kind of going. Again, theater, cinema. It's like they were trying to build a fucking mutiny. What it was a little bit different because it looked like they were also trying to like have a heart to heart. It's like, we don't want to be abused anymore. It was like a fucking labor union agreement. Like, we're tired of the disrespect.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Hell no,
then,
we won't go.
then Solo comes over. He's like, I acknowledge you, my chief,
But these are
but
my.
those my brothers over.
That's when I knew the jig was up. I say, "Yep." I say, "Yep."
You ain't even wearing the same color shirt, nigga. Come on. How you got your own shirt, Solo? Usos don't got their own shirt.
All his gear looks like made like custom for him. Like it's just like he made it in his garage. That's what I think. That's what I love about him. Like he's got like the impact font on his tights. I'm like, get a real gear maker.
I don't. You just don't. You don't. Either way, I thought it got a little bit too crazy. Everyone was starting to mush everybody else in the fucking face. It
That's
was
how
getting real.
that's how family do it because you don't want to punch you don't want to punch your brother in the face. You don't want to punch your cousin in the
Uh,
face. That's point of no return type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like punching your brother in the face, right? So
I'm glad Jimmy's getting this moment
he's
because
good.
Jimmy, through the majority of this program, has been ineffective entirely.
It's good. It's good. It's good. The promo. He get a promo of his life.
Mm-hmm.
The promo of his life here. Like I really like the Jimmy Uso promo. I'm glad that they're both getting a chance to shine here because it was so much about Jay, and now it's really about Jimmy. You have that stellar moment with the super kick. Now you have this moment here. The back and forth was great. Paul Heyman was great also, just being like, this can't happen. Like this is scary. And then you finally get Solo hitting Jimmy with the Samoan spike. You know, Solo's biggest heel in the world right now.
Hey
People
man, here's the also bigger part of that segment. Jay Uso didn't immediately kick fucking Solo in the face like he probably should have.
yeah, yeah.
So that was a thing to me where I was like, you hit my brother, it's over. But then you also my brother, so it's kind of like I guess a difficult thing to do. But and also, what is Jay's decision going to be? Roman Reigns walks up the stage, and this is like some like credit shit. This is like some shit after the credits. Paul Heyman walks up to Roman, and he's like, but what about Jay?
Did they tell them to say that?
I don't know. But Roman, what does Roman say?
Jay's gonna do what he always does. Fall in line. And he walks away.
And I was like, damn. I was like, damn. They got me. When's this shit start again? Overall, just great, fantastic segment. Listen, when you talk about the MJFs of the world, you always talk about how it's quarter hours, do
Yeah.
numbers. This is at least 3/4 hours, and they were killing it. Like this is real. This is the real draw in wrestling. This is the mere fact you had 15,000 people who are here to see people get in the ring and compete against each other. Sit down and watch this stage performance between this family. Watch this play out. And we're bought into every single minute of it. Solo Sikoa is now the biggest heel that there is in his weird fucking pants. Jimmy, what is Jay gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
What does it happen to Jimmy after that? Like, where do we all go from here? And the truth is, we'll apparently find out on SmackDown this week.
I've always been of the mind that it's going to be Usos, Roman versus Jimmy and Jay, the Usos. I think,
In London? You think it's London?
yeah, I think it's London. I think the story here is, does Jay strike Solo, his other brother, and does he strike Roman? I think that's the final domino to drop here with this whole
Mm-hmm.
storyline. And I think that we could be looking at a 3-man bloodline. It could be back to Roman. Honestly, it would be back to Roman.
I'm, they haven't clearly established a contender for this belt. Haven't even come close to it since pretty much WrestleMania.
Yep.
Niggas just haven't contended. So it's clear they kind of want to get this story out the way. I'm interested to see what they do for SummerSlam, but it looks like Money in the Bank is indeed another tag team match.
He's got to defend, because that's probably going to main event
Yeah,
in the UK.
yeah, I
Do
would
that.
imagine so.
I would
But we've got to establish a contender for this belt as well, though.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And let me tell you right now, it don't look like they're on SmackDown.
Okay.
The OC defeating Hit Row. I tried not to like dock a lot of things on this show too hard because I knew the ending segment was going to be like a heart tug. But I would like to know and establish that like they're going to be doing something with the tag titles on this show, so they have something to fight for. And if you're not going to have Sammy and KO, because it doesn't seem like Meelz, they're going to be showing up on SmackDown anytime soon. So
Nah, they Imperiumed up. And to
you
be honest, they've been on SmackDown enough this year, apparently.
and I mean they even said on the show, we're done. Like, all right.
It's
Like
like I guess it's none of my business anymore. You know, it is what it is.
I just feel like they need to introduce, if you introducing a new title for Roman, y'all need to introduce some new titles on that show and do a tournament or something to kind of pass the time for these teams because they're out there doing nothing. And
Yeah, I think we need to split the belts again. Like we can split the belts again
yeah,
because I've never seen as much as Hit Row is just the bottom of the barrel. I've never seen a more ineffective team than the OC, than Gallows and Anderson. I've never seen chums that are just chums and nothing else.
yeah,
They have not contended for a title since they've returned. They have not been in any kind of match. I mean, they've been in matchups, you know, for number one contenders and stuff, but like they're AJ's guys.
mm-hmm. I mean
AJ's the guy.
that's how they got rehired though.
Right. AJ's the guy. We got to figure out something for them to do.
Yeah,
We got to figure out something for the OC to do, just in general, because we can't have this. I don't want to live through SmackDown again with no fucking the tag titles just being wrapped up in Raw feuds and shit.
mm-hmm.
They got a ton of tag teams on SmackDown. We didn't bring up Pretty Deadly for them not to be no damn tag team titles on SmackDown.
Hey, they working. We got to do like a ranking of just who out there working right now.
Hey man,
NXT.
it's June. It's June. We could do our half year rankings. We could do one of those. You know,
Also
I'm
on
just
here,
putting it out there.
Zelina Vega and LA Knight, qualify for Money in the Bank. I think it was a foregone conclusion. I think there was like some big argument whether LA Knight should win over Montez. Listen, they're have he needs to do something of consequence in order for people to be hyped for him this much. Cheers ain't enough. He needs
Yeah.
to have a consequence.
Hey man, they turned on Montez a little bit, so Montez turned it up a little bit. But LA Knight, he had to win. He had to win because they've been passing him L's all fucking month.
But here's my thing:
So
he's also been losing a lot, and I feel like
yeah,
when you lose a lot, they're usually setting you
I
up for
still wouldn't
something
give.
big.
I wouldn't give him the briefcase. I still wouldn't give him the briefcase. Beat who, nigga? Who he beating?
I would.
To be honest with you,
Let me see the rest of the field first, because right now my gut,
yeah.
or my heart says Nakamura. My heart says it. Heart.
Okay.
But
Okay.
my gut is saying LA Knight is probably going to get it. But let me wait to see who else is going to be in this, because it looks like Bronson Reed will probably weasel his way into.
Well, we got two more matchups that's scheduled this week. I think we got Ali versus who's Ali versus? We got a couple more matchups this week. I'll follow up, but we got a couple more matchups this week that'll lay out the field a little bit more.
Where is he qualifying on SmackDown?
Yeah, he's gonna show up on SmackDown. It is Mustafa Ali versus Santos Escobar next
Santos
week on SmackDown.
Yeah.
And then we have Baron Corbin versus Matt Riddle. I think that's also on SmackDown or Raw.
It's probably Raw. That makes sense. Yeah. So I guess Riddle and then Santos. Riddle looks to be going
Oh,
against.
I'm sorry. Santos Escobar versus Mustafa Ali.
Yes.
Butch versus Baron Corbin.
Butch is going to be in Money in the Bank, or Baron Corbin?
Right.
Oh, UK.
Butch is going to be in Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
You had it right. He's like, or Baron Corbin? No, nigga.
I remember it's in the UK. It's in the UK, so that's a big moment for them. Yeah, he excels in ladder matches too. So.
And then on SmackDown this week, we got Michin versus Bailey and Shotzi versus Io Sky.
Gotta question the not putting Cameron Grimes in that, because it seems as though they're having him waiting, like they did with Santos for a while. They had him waiting for the storyline they want to put him in, but it seems
Right.
like he's been on TV every week since he's debuted, and he's gotten some pretty convincing victories as well. I'm interested. I want to see what they do with Cameron Grimes. He was obviously like an H guy when he was in NXT. He was somebody that they gave a lot to. Kind of lost his way a little bit when the regime change happened. He was off TV, but now we're back, and I love to see what they got planned for him.
I would imagine he's going to cost Baron Corbin this Money in the Bank spot, because
Ah,
the way he's approaching is it's on site for him.
I like that. I like that idea. That's Meelz booking
Hey
101.
man, listen, we
Um,
here.
Grayson Waller effect. He hasn't actually gotten to the ring yet. I wonder if he's injured because he hasn't done any
He,
in-ring stuff
I think he still is. And he broke the shit out of his foot.
or something like that, right? I think he's injured, but that's why he
Yeah,
hasn't.
he's absolutely injured. Yeah,
So he's been doing the but it's good that they kept him on TV. He has something with Asuka. Weird segment, not gonna lie. Really weird segment with Asuka. I
Quan
think
had it
that
right. Quan said, "I have never seen a good Grayson Waller effect segment," and I agree completely.
oh my god, it was a weird segment. I just felt like, again, you could keep him in the mix. I like that he was able to ad lib a little bit after the scripted part was done. He was like, "Oh, look at all these ladies, I love it." Like, I thought that was that showed his personality. I think that what they're giving him right now is like the dirt worst. I feel like if you're gonna do this to him, put him in the fucking commentary booth or something for a second, or have him commentate matches until he's ready to go back.
Hey, let me ask you this: did you hear the reaction when Io Sky came out and
Yeah,
was talking to Asuka?
yeah, she's
It's
ready,
something
pal.
there. She's ready. And
She's
Asuka was like, "Bitch, who this bitch?"
I love that Michael Cole, and no one caught this, but I feel like Michael Cole definitely knew they were cussing, because he said, good luck to the censors or something like that after that promo. I was like, he definitely knew they were cussing. He
Mike
for
Cole
sure.
knows a little something, something. But no, listen. This is I love Asuka's kind of persona, kind of what she's got going on right now. Io Sky is very hot. They had Bailey come out afterwards to kind of like um, temper the heat that was coming out for this kind of match. Um, they had Shotzi come out for whatever reason. Um, Lacey Evans came out because she has a match, I assume, that's
Yeah,
qualifying for Money in the Bank.
but she
Then
lost.
Zelina came out with her chancleta, and then as Asuka manages to escape this entire ordeal, she gets met with Bianca Belair at the top of the stage, and Bianca ain't playing nice no more.
It ain't over.
You heard Bianca, you heard Baka not nice, Bianca not nice.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
it ain't over is basically the idea that I got. I knew it wasn't over. I know it wasn't over. It's clear that we are, heading into another match between these two. They don't. I feel like they lost a step a bit from the Mania match in the last match. I think the next one needs to have some type of step. I can imagine it happening in the UK and Money in the Bank, unless Bianca gets into Money in the Bank. I don't know, but
It's something where Bianca can't be pinned because realistically, I guess she could. I mean, she was pinned last time, I guess.
she could be pending. And she hasn't gotten pinned in how many months? When Oscar,
Yeah,
it was like almost a year or something like that. So I mean, that's
yeah,
a big win for Asuka. I still see her getting the title back before the end of the year, though. It's
yeah. I could see it. I
run
could see
from
it.
it, run from it, dread it. Bianca and Charlotte, they will they are inevitable. You know what I'm saying? Like
If
it's
it's not Bianca, it's going to be Charlotte
yeah, for sure.
for sure.
It's gonna be one of the two. What I want to wonder, or what I'm wondering, Meelz, is when the
Charlotte
fuck.
spit back in her face. Charlotte be like, Charlotte, take eat the mist and then spit it back.
I hate that shit, bitch. Spit it back in your face, nigga. No, what I'm wondering is when they're gonna flip the belts. I'm like, what? All right, you can't be the Raw champion and you're not on Raw no more. Like, y'all gotta just flip the belts. I'm thinking that Triple H is coming up with some convoluted way to avoid them having to just hand the belts to each other. Like, Vince would have already done this shit, Meals. He would have just said, "Hey, come on the show this week. Just fly out, just hand the
Just
belt, and leave."
we'll make it a segment backstage, film it with Bruce, something along those lines.
Exactly.
I'm assuming he's waiting until. I'm assuming we're waiting until Money in the Bank. But to be honest, the Money in the Bank changes a lot.
Yeah.
So
Oh, you know what you could do? Someone could cash in.
That's what I'm thinking. Because
Someone,
the ladies like to cash in that same night because they don't have no patience. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? There's no tact with their thing.
Someone could cash
Um,
in on, like, it would probably be someone from. It would have to be someone from Raw winning it to cash in on the SmackDown one, and someone from SmackDown winning it to cash in on the and get.
well, there's only going to be one.
It
So
has to be somebody cashing it in on Oscar then, because it can't be Rhea. You're right. You're right. Who though? I wonder.
I wonder.
Io Sky. Anyway, um, let's go to Raw.
Let's go to Raw. Great show.
Great show. That crowd did that. Well, they were a great crowd. That city did not deserve that show.
Nah, nah. But you know, it's Vinnie Mac City. You know what I'm saying?
He
And he
came
was
in,
at the show apparently.
he
So
ripped
now,
up the script and said, "I know how to do this shit still, nigga."
hey man, people ain't know what to fucking believe anymore. They were like, Vince is at the show, and then the show was awesome. It was like, this nigga
This
is
can't be.
terrible.
He said, "No, this can't be." They hit the white man science is amazing, ain't it? Oh no, this can't be.
Oh my god, great show though. Great show.
Uh,
One of the better Raws.
but today marks the 1 year anniversary of the Judgment Day betraying Edge and becoming part of its current iteration right now with Rhea, Damian Priest, and Finn Balor. Huge segment that actually ended the show that week, I believe. And now,
No, I don't think it actually did.
oh, it happened before. Something else ended that show that week.
Yeah, it was like Cody versus Seth or something along those lines.
I think it was the Cody segment or something that ended it, or something. Or was
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah. No, no, no. Well, I don't remember. I just know it didn't end the show because it happened in the middle of the show, and I was like, "The fuck."
Yeah, it was wild. It was wild. It was a wild segment. It was a really, and I remember having a lot of praise for the segment at the time and wondering where they would go. And then that segment happened, and they disappeared off TV for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, interesting. And then, well, here's the thing: they used to all wear suits now it's dressed down. Finn looking as ridiculous as fucking ever. You see them big ass silver pants.
Flagged out.
They incorporated Dom, made Dominic Mysterio into a star.
He
Uh,
was. I will say this with no hesitation that he is the moment that they became the linchpin, that they became what they are, and
I agree.
I don't think you get the heat that they get, and they get heat individually. Let's not just, stop it. Like they're like Rhea clearly gets cheers, but the men in the
Mm,
group they clearly get boos where they're supposed to be booed. And I said this yesterday in our chat. I said the biggest challenge for Triple H isn't what's going to happen after Roman loses the belt. It's what's going to happen when you eventually got to make Dominic Mysterio a babyface again. Like it's like what how does that happen? Because he's the biggest heat on the show right now.
I don't know if you do. I
He's
see it more so of how
he's going to be babyface again.
no, I see it more so how the Eddie and China thing ended up, where Dominic gets too big for his britches, and then he begins like low key, kind of like gaslighting Rhea. Um, I could see something happening like that because it seems like they want to cheer Rhea Ripley for sure. Um, and I think it's more so the moment of when they pull the plug and really allow us to just cheer her for everything that she is. And I think it does have to do something with Dom. And I think Dom remains a heel. And then I think we do see like Rhea versus Dom at some
You
point.
you got to babyface them first, though. I think you got to babyface them first. I
I
think
could see it. Yeah.
they're slowly building up Imperium to be there. We'll get to Imperium in a second, but like they're clearly like Imperium's like, yo, we're not taking that shit, and they're keeping them away from each other. But they're
Right.
also on this show, which had great matches, including a great main event between Seth Rollins, and Damian Priest. Can't believe they haven't done that before. They've never done that before. That's crazy. Um, you're starting to see some cracks. I don't think this will be a breakup. Let's just be clear. I don't think this is a breakup, but I think it's like definitely leading to Finn versus Seth.
Yeah. I think this is the. I think it's from last week to this week. It's definitely what we're going for is Finn versus Seth, especially in London.
Yeah, you got to do it over there. You got to let them have a classic. Money in the Bank. If the card is looking like the way we want it to look, it's gonna be generational. Like it's gonna be a fucking great show. But I do like the small little Finn wanting to get that back because it's like, yo, Seth is kind of he's hitting on a really big pain point for Finn. That's the shoulder. That's the injury. Seth, I like that they're keeping him still that needly kind of nasally shitty kind of person a little bit on a lot of things here. I like that.
And to be honest, Finn's never looked as short as he ever did until he got into Judgment Day. He really looks like a little Napoleon Complexian kind of nigga. To be honest with you,
I liked it. I liked the way it ended. I liked the match that they had. Again, I'm really into a lot of the stuff they're doing with the Judgment Day. But in terms of for a year now, or where they're at now from a year later, them being the biggest. I mean, you were just complaining a couple weeks ago. They win too much. Like, you were
I
like,
mean,
too much.
I guess the buck stopped at Seth. Apparently, I mean,
Buck stopped at Bad Bunny because that's when shit
the
all started to fall apart.
the buck stops at the world title. Apparently, but you know, great opportunity. I thought everything they did on Raw. I mean, can we just talk about? I guess we can. I know we got other stuff to talk about, but Judgment Day on Raw. I mean, they had several moments on Raw from the opening match to it looks like, and I don't know. I could guess if this was like a request by Cody. Cody's like, put me in the ring with Dom.
Yeah, he
Put
said I.
me in the ring with
He said I ain't doing shit else.
right, because apparently, so the rumor is that the next Brock Lesnar match isn't until SummerSlam.
Okay.
That's the rumor.
Okay.
Um, so Cody kind of needs something along the way.
To keep it going, because you don't keep them off.
Dominic,
You don't keep them off Money in the Bank, do you?
I wouldn't know. I think the people, especially, I don't know when the last time Cody's been to London. I mean, they ain't no Wembley in his future, but
Right.
um, I don't know when the last time Cody's been to London, and I'm pretty sure they're like they want him there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Got to hear that
and
whoa from the team.
right,
Oh yeah.
and if he can put on a banger with Dominic Mysterio there, I think it's a great card.
Mm-hmm. And he's known to try and make that magic work with all the bells and whistles with familial connections.
Right, and then you had his wife tweet out because his wife is in the business. She was like, "Black ass shadow, black bitch." No, she says. Uh, she tweeted out and says, "Papa won't hit mommy, but mommy will." Hey,
Mm. What if
listen,
Randy shows up? It's in WWE.
that's a good question. What if Brandy shows up? I think the
Whoo, that's it. Here's the thing. The Cody thing was easy for people to get over. It was easy for people to get to. The Brandy thing might be a bridge too fucking far.
I mean, I would I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
kind of I'm kind of against it, but I also can't stop what's going to happen. But
yeah.
I'm kind of against it.
I wouldn't be. We'll see. Because they got a lot of people telling them no. They need an
Because
editor. That's why they need an
that's
editor.
true. That's
If they
true.
just try to show up and like smack her from the crowd, like in the UK, then I think that's fine. If she just shows
And
up.
also, Rhea Ripley should beat the shit out of Brandy. To be honest with you, should
Well,
be
what
able to.
though?
Brandy was going 50-50 in AEW. I don't know if you know this.
If you're not gonna do a Brandy match, I would not do that because Cody can't hit her. He can't hit Rhea. You know what I'm saying? He's not
Well,
gonna hit Rhea. You know.
oh, that's true. I mean, you might do a mixed tag in the future. Do it on a house show. You know what
Here's the
I'm
thing: you
saying?
didn't want Brandy there in the first place. So like, let's just get unless we cut the shit and Jay Cargo comes to the WWE.
Hey man. Hey man. Listen.
Oh man.
Hey. Um. Do you want to get to the main event now, or save it for a little bit later?
Talk about the main event.
Main event. Seth Rollins' first World Heavyweight Championship defense. He set out an open challenge on SmackDown. I was like, oh, this is going to be great. You had a couple days of anticipation. It could be anybody. And then like 20 minutes later, they confirmed that Damian Priest on a Friday had accepted this challenge. But still a great match. I mean, Damian Priest, I think the one thing, especially when we talked about his U.S. title reign a number of years back, the one thing that we always said is he can go. He's gone with the best of them. He's been in the ring, um, with Edge, and he's been in the ring with Sheamus, and he's been in the ring with a lot of different people. I mean, even you go back to NXT. I thought this was a moment where you made him look like a really big deal, and you really like his role in the group continues to be like the heavy, the enforcer, the someone like that. And I think this continued to show that. And I don't know what long term plans there is for Damian Priest, but I think if there's any plans that you want to figure him into, I think he's going to do well in them.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the issue is trying to juggle so many awesome not egos, but like awesome characters, right? You got an awesome character with Finn, you got an awesome character with Dom, you got an awesome character that's building with Damian Priest, and you know, you had that big moment, that big main event in Puerto Rico. It's going to be interesting to see how they juggle that and giving him something important to do, and then having Finn have something important to do, because again, like they say Finn is the de facto leader, but then it'll be Damian some weeks, it'll be Rhea some weeks. So like we'll see how they juggle that. Like I would honestly love to see Damian and Brock Lesnar. You know what I mean? That to me is the real test. If he's ready to go, is if Brock Lesnar fucks with him. So I mean, Finn's work with Brock. You know what I mean? Like there's been a lot of
Right.
people that work with him, and he's fucked with, and he's allowed them to get, you know, get their shit off on him for. So we'll see what happens there. But I thought the main event was great.
And I think there is a world championship in this future. I think by virtue of now having two championships, and one is not being fucking held by Roman Reigns for the umpteenth for 1,000+ days, there is opportunity for him to become a world champion in the future. So, great performance, great show, great main event, and I liked where it all ended up. But that wasn't the only banger on this fucking show.
Yeah, I mean, there was multiple overarching storylines. I gotta tip my cap and clap for not only the continuity editors on these shows now, but also just the way that they're weaving so many people into storylines and setting up things that you really want to see. It's kind of giving kind of old NXT. Like this show felt like a 3-hour NXT show, to be honest with
No,
you.
I could see that. I could
Just
see that.
in terms of the way they laid things out, and it's a more big budget way too as well. But Imperium has been running roughshod over the Raw roster since they got there, and this week they showed up again to make their intentions known for those tag team titles between KO and Sami Zayn. KO wanted a fight. He got a fight, not even announced. Meelz, just a match between Kevin Owens and Gunther on the show. They got about 20 minutes, like maybe two or was it 3 commercial breaks? It was a lot of commercial breaks before
It
this
was
match.
quite a bit. It might have been two, but it was definitely quite a bit of commercial breaks. Like it went for a while, like 18 minutes, I believe.
So we get a long 20-minute, almost 20-minute match on the show. They got to do this again someday. They were working like they were trying to steal the show, knowing they had that main event coming up. But this was the first time, again, another first time match that happened. I feel like I know a lot of people that were kind of upset about it happening. My general view of this is that wrestling shows do this all the time. The show is that like if you don't complain about AEW doing it, you can't complain about WWE doing it. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
doing types of matches like, and they also got to fill a longer show. So this doesn't shut out the chance for this to happen again. But it also it does give you more of a hook to see it again and see it end in the right way. But they
Right.
straight up gave a pinfall to Gunther. They straight up they just beat him, and I thought that was the right way to do it. You don't end this match on some type of fuck finish. You make it definitive, or as definitive as it can be, but you do give Gunther that win.
Absolutely. And I could see them challenging for the Intercontinental Championship in the future. I could see it. Or I mean, next week we might get Gunther versus Sami Zayn, and I think that's going to be a banger too. So we definitely got a lot of options here. Be interesting how kind of things shape towards Money in the Bank. Obviously, traffic outside my fucking window.
What's going
Um,
on?
Traffic. It's literally traffic.
um,
Um,
I also feel like, I mean, you might not actually get. I'm wondering what they're gonna do with the Imperium thing, because later on in the show, you get Matt Riddle being like, "Yo, fuck Imperium, bruh," and then they say, "What's up?" And then Matt
and
Riddle
and apparently he snaps his leg like for real.
he snaps Vinci's ankle, and so what is the story now going to be? That you get Vinci or Kaiser and Gunther versus KO and Sammy, and that's the easy way to get out of not having a singles Gunther match, and then you kind of still get Matt Riddle and Gunther at a later date. Because I honestly I feel like they should just do Gunther and Matt Riddle and Money in the Bank.
I think that's what they're gonna do at the end of the day. So I think that's where we're gonna head. He's gonna be like, "Oh, you snap my guy's leg, I'm gonna break your arm."
How long
And
is the show gonna be? This is gonna
I
be
mean, it's gonna be a great show.
yeah.
Money in the Bank, London. It's gonna be great. I mean, they're trying to up the ante as well. You know what I'm saying? Considering all the press for AEW and their Wembley thing, I think they're trying to like, all right, well, follow this, TBH.
Yeah.
Um,
Sure. Uh, later on in the show, we got Becky Lynch versus Sonya Deville, which was a good match too. Listen, Becky right now is at the top of my list for like best women's performer right now.
I think she just got it. I don't. It doesn't even have to be consistency, but I think she's at the point in her career where she knows how to go,
What
and
she
can do it consistently and can pull it out of her ass at any time.
what she did with Trish in Saudi Arabia was sorcery. My nigga, like that shit.
That's funny.
That made no sense why that match was that fire. I still give the nod to like Charlotte and Rhea being like basically my favorite women's match of the year so far. But
Mm-hmm.
I can't deny that Becky Lynch has been working and she works more than Rhea does. So like I gotta tip my hat to her. But she qualifies for Money in the Bank. And interestingly enough, Zoe Stark also qualifies for Money in the Bank. They're doing some type of storyline with Natty here. I want people to chill out. It seems like she's in on it. On these losses.
All right.
It just seems as because she made a
No,
post.
she's in on it. She's in on it. She's in on it. But I'm
Made a
like,
post over the weekend, like she was like, I don't know why people would want to train with me after last week's loss or some shit. I was like, oh, okay, it's a storyline. Like she's in on the losses. We get
because all right, God bless her is what I'll say.
it. So I'm looking at this as Becky Lynch will either put Zoe Stark out, or Trish Stratus will probably cost Becky the Money in the Bank briefcase because Becky or Trish ain't climbing no damn ladder. So we'll see what happens in the UK.
We shall see what happens. It's looking thing. What else do we have? I mean, we had a debut.
We touched on the Cody thing, so we can skip that. But yeah, we had a debut.
We had a debut of these girls who can creatively not be interjected in any segment except the same fucking way. Where someone will be having an interview, minding their own business, and they'll be like, "What's that? Tag title match?" I thought you'd never ask. It's like, bitch, who was talking to you? Either way, the results. Listen, I never said they couldn't go.
You did. I was waiting for you to say that.
I never said they couldn't go. I said they're a whack tag team. And I think they're never at any point the most interesting thing in the ring. Never, even close. Never.
Okay, don't make me go
I stand
back.
by that.
I know John Barnes, Jalen. Y'all remember
by that.
Armand for sure. Remember shit.
I stand by that.
I know I've said they could go. I said they can go though. It doesn't matter. They need
people
jobbers.
Saying, "Oh, they're going to save the division." I think they should be tag team champions. People say that on Twitter.
Who said that?
People say it on Twitter. I'm not going to say who. People say that. They said, "Oh, they should be tag team champions." Just because they have matching tights and apparently have wrestled with each other for 2 years. Granted, great. You're the only reputable tag team left that has not turned on each other. You know why you haven't turned on each other? Because neither one of you are interesting in any facet that it would be better that you apart than together. That's all I gotta say.
Meelz is
good
mean.
debut. Good debut.
Meelz is really, really mean.
Ronda gave him a lot. Shayna too.
They gave him a lot. I thought it was good. I think that they have a lot of upside once they get a character. Their theme is
they
like
have a character. It's just whack.
their theme is just like the party rock remix, which I think is hilarious. Yeah, that was Raw. It looks like Cody and Dominic, as we mentioned, is the direction. There was a lot of things that happened, but I mean, if you had to go out of your way to watch anything from this show, definitely the main event, definitely KO versus Gunther. And you could check out Sonya and Becky too. I thought the Sonya was working, man. Somebody back there really believes in Sonya Deville, and I can see the improvement in her. So like I fucked with it a lot. So that was this week in wrestling. Next week we got a big week with AEW Collision premiering. We're gonna have all of the breakdowns of that and what's gonna happen with the main event on that show this week on the War Report with Quan and Cyrus. You'll be able to hear that, and let us know why y'all mad. Send in the reasons why y'all mad, and we'll talk about that next week on the segment. If there's anything else that pisses people off, that would be some shit if it's nothing pissed anyone off this week, Meelz, and we had nothing to talk about next week.
Someone will. That doesn't happen. Someone says something that will do. We're just getting into Saudi money has just gone mainstream, and people are very mad
Oh
at
god.
that.
I've seen all types of shit about that this morning. But yes, we'll be right back with you guys next week with the latest, greatest, and weirdest stuff in pro wrestling on the A Show. Thank you guys for listening. For Meelz, I'm Justin. See you next week. Peace.